Let's go over Linux gaming versus Windows gaming because I've been a Windows user for a couple decades and I've been a hardcore Linux user for almost 3 years now, somewhat. And I've gamed excessively on both platforms. So I want to manage your expectations and show you what it's like to do Linux gaming and also where Windows gaming can kind of pull out ahead. And it depends on the type of gamer you are. And I'm going to go over 5 types of gamers here. We got the basic Steam user. We have the basic community driven, like, hey, you're really into like Skyrim mods and other things, like maybe community driven gaming projects where I'll go into one where we're bringing back an old shutdown game that is now community run. And then also just basic old school emulated games, those types of gamers, and kind of touch on that. And then finally, get into like the hardcore, the you buy every single game on every single launcher, you don't care, and every single FPS matters to you. And then I'll throw one last one in, and we'll go into cheaters and hackers, because that's also a type of gamer. So let's get into it. Now, here is the basic thing. ProtonDB kind of tells you, hey, is this compatible with Linux compared to Windows? Windows, every single game is made for Windows. It's for compatibility. Windows is always going to have, it's always going to be where it's at. Every game is made with Windows in mind. So that's just right out front. You're not going to get 100% compatibility. But this gives a good breakdown of what to expect. ProtonDB.com. And you can see out of the top 10, all 4 of the ones that don't have compatibility right now are easy anti-cheat games. We should see this actually get fixed towards the end of the year when the Steam Deck launches. But it's something to know right out of the gate. And some of these, like let's say Rust, for instance, it's got a silver rating. It kind of tells you what to expect. Some of these will play on Linux, but you're going to lose a lot of FPS by playing on Linux. So it's just important to kind of look at what games you are playing and know you might take a performance hit, or actually you're probably going to take a performance hit going with it. But I just want to throw these out first because it's so important. And if you're that hardcore gamer and every FPS matters, Linux gaming's never going to be where it's at because you're going to lose FPS in almost every instance. But if you're into old school games, a lot of times losing 10, 20 FPS doesn't matter. Like I play Warframe, and if we pull it up, you'll see it's a gold rank, but this used to just be a dog. I would lose anywhere between 40 to 50 FPS. I think I've even made several YouTube videos where I showed that FPS loss. This anymore is actually closer to about 20 FPS loss, and I'm still well into the hundreds of FPS on Linux compared to the Windows counterpart. So if I was a hardcore Warframe character or player, I wouldn't really care. I would just be like, okay, I probably wouldn't even mention or lose that much in the FPS realm to where I'd even care, as long as my hardware was relatively up to date. And then when you step into some of the older games, like right here's my Steam library, almost everything on Steam I've pretty much got to work on a single player platform. A lot of these like Hollow Knight, Getting Over It, all these are actually localized Linux games. They don't even run through anything. They just play just as they would on Windows, and you don't lose any FPS. But there's a couple in here, like Path of Exile, you'll see a little bit of a drop compared to the Windows counterpart. Cyberpunk, honestly, between Windows and Linux, I know I lose some FPS, but again, not enough to impact my gameplay at all. And I'm running 5600X and a 2060 RTX at 1080p. So almost all my stuff plays really, really nice here. And I'll give you a little sample gameplay of what to expect on like Cyberpunk real quick. I will say the first time installing and launching on Linux, you're going to run into a little bit of a lag time because it has to download shaders and some of the things that make it almost as fast as Windows. So the install process and the load up process does take a little bit longer the first time you run it, but you'll see what it actually loads right now. I'm going to go ahead and throw my headset on and we'll get into it. So right there you can see it is processing those Vulkan shaders. Now I've updated and played this today, and even so that launch process is a bit slower. Not crazy there, just probably 10 seconds, but still to note. All right, here's the load time on Cyberpunk. We're just going to hit continue. Got a little FPS counter in the top left. See how it goes. And here we are in game. You can see the FPS. This is a 2060 RTX 2060. FPSs are around 30 FPS. We can actually test this in Windows as well, just to kind of give you a comparison of a modern game. But overall, not bad. And we're down. All right, but you got kind of an example of what the FPS looks like. Not great, but we'll try it in Windows and actually see how this does as well. I'll just reboot into that, see if we get better than the 30, which I imagine we will. All right, here we are on good old Windows, and we're gonna launch into Cyberpunk real fast. I am gonna just be using Steam's built-in FPS counter. I think this is actually the first time I'm launching it, so it might be a little slow. Let's see what it looks like. Now, I will say I have not optimized this at all. It's just using stock settings. So if you're on a 2060, you're not going to be using the same settings. But look at that. FPS is just maybe a tad higher. Let's see, 35, 39, 38. Something like that. Let's shoot something. 39, 37, 38. Let's go find a car or something. As the sun set a little bit and I drove around, that FPS actually ended up climbing. Now we're in the 40s, so about what I expected to see. About a 10 FPS difference, or about 20%, probably be more on the Windows counterpart. And yeah, I think that's good. So to bring us now into a more off the beaten path game, obviously we know about Steam. What about other games? And let's take old school games real fast, kind of go through some scenarios. First off is like Diablo. That's obviously a really old game with an executable. We'd use Lutris to install it. Most old popular games are just right here on Lutris. You just type it in and install it. I've done a video on this, and it's very simple to install. You just come here, click install, it goes through, and it's done. And anybody can install this. And this is modded out too to be the full 1080p experience. Check this out. I'll go ahead and launch my Lutris, which is what this site's using, lutris.net. And we'll go ahead and just play some old Diablo, load it up. And we'll pull this up. Ah, the nostalgia. Love it. You just can't beat that. You just can't beat old school Diablo. Look at this. Stay a while and listen.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
Yeah, love it. All right, cool. Anyways, you get the idea. You mod your old games, and honestly, Lutris does a lot of these. Now, I do have Star Wars Galaxies here. This is not a mod that's on Lutris. I went ahead and just added this directly. It's kind of an obscure one because Star Wars Galaxies was a 2003 MMO that got shut down almost 10 years ago, or maybe 10 years ago, or even more. I can't remember when they shut it down. I think it was when Old Republic came out. Anyways, I digress. It's a fan project. It has its own server. You can actually get in here and do it, but it requires you to have the original game, which this one I have from Steam, so I just went ahead and installed it through Steam. And then I grabbed their little zip file to modify it, extracted it to that Steam folder right here, and I really can't run that executable. And I had to create my own thing because their launcher uses Java. So what I did is I created my own little script. Right here's the entire script, and I'll just zoom in there so you guys can see what it's doing. And basically what this script is doing is it's running wine right here. It's then running this whole thing, which is this string and this. So it's just running this Java executable file in there with these options. And then it's running SWG launch, which is this Star Wars Legends launcher, which requires this emulated Java version to work. So if you do want to play this on Linux, here's how you do it. Most people would lack the technical skills to make something like this for an obscure game that's not yet on Lutris, or let's just say this is probably not really Lutris friendly just because of what it's doing with Java on the launcher. But I at least wanted to show something kind of off the beaten path. And we'll go ahead and launch into this using Lutris. And what I did here is I just said add game, and then I did Linux native, and then I just made all this myself. But we can just launch right in, from the Legends launcher that's in here, we can just hit play. I'm going to fast forward through this first part just so I don't get copyright striked. And this is more for nostalgia. A lot of people didn't like this MMO when it came out, but hey, if you still if you played this back in the day, hey, here it is. We'll go over here, and I'm just gonna kill one of these guys to show you some of the old gameplay. This is how it was done back in my day. Yeah, look at that. Blew him up. Look, you got some credits. You gotta click on the corpse and then loot. Anywho, you get the idea of some of the like old school fan run modded games. You can still do it. It just can be a little cumbersome sometimes. Now, instead of doing a traditional logout or like Alt F4, a task manager like you're used to in Windows, you can just kill any process with just the click of a button, which is something I like. And also, if I wanted to switch workspaces and check other things, it's a little bit easier over here, as the global hotkeys work far better in Linux than the Windows counterpart. But I wanted to actually just show those two differences with some older games for you old school gamers out there, and how you would do it depending on the game that you're trying to play. Obviously, Star Wars Galaxies much easier on Windows because you just run the executable and it walks you through the setup process, where on Linux this is something that would be difficult. But I just want to kind of put this in people's minds. Even though it's something that most people couldn't do, I just want to kind of show people everything is possible. It's just a matter of, hey, how much effort did you want to put into it? So not an earth-changing difference between Windows and Linux, as you saw, about what you expect. It's still going through a compatibility layer in Linux, so it runs a little slower. Now, there's certain games that just won't run, like Warzone. I doubt will ever work. It's such a huge game, and they're constantly changing the cheat system and the easy anti-cheat in it. I just don't know if that'll ever work. Other gotchas are launchers, such as Epic Games. It does have Heroic, which I did a video on Linux, but a lot of those games from Epic just aren't Linux compatible, and they probably won't ever be. So it just depends on what Epic's doing. Eventually, if enough people use Linux, maybe Epic will step in and go, okay, well, we're going to make our games Linux compatible. Obviously, the framework is there to do so. One more thing here, and something that just doesn't, the last bit I didn't talk about. Obviously, the hardcore people are going to stay on Windows for easy anti-cheat, competitiveness to get that extra edge on all your FPS. But the hacker type style. Now, I use something called IS Boxer here, and I'm just going to go ahead and launch 4 instances of old school EverQuest. It's an MMO from the late 90s, one I still play today. And I'm going to go in game, and you're going to get to see 4 instances up on how I manipulate these. And this is something I just don't think I could ever replicate in Linux. So this is old EverQuest, something that kind of show. I have a whole bunch of different characters loaded up. All 4 of these characters are mine. This is my main character. And I like to just kind of manipulate things and move them all at the same time and play all 4 characters. This is a multi-boxing to an extreme, and it's just kind of fun and something that I really enjoy. I've actually designed a lot of scripts and other things to work with this that frankly just would not work in Linux. And let me just show you real quick. I'll just say, hey, follow me, guys, and you can see all of them follow me. Or I can go follow off and just move them to certain spots and say, I want them to move them to that spot. Or if I wanted to flip that around, and this is where the graphic manipulation happens in game, where I can multi-box. Let's say something's happening on the warrior and I need to get over there real quick. I can just come up here, boom. This actually is the bard, but it'll show everything right there, and I'm already playing on that bard, but I also have like a little sneak preview window, and I can adjust these to different sizes. If I had multiple monitors, I could push these over to a whole bunch of different monitors, which I'm using for recording and stuff now, so this works better. But I can come back to my cleric, and finally just click backing in the same space to get back to my main character. And this is how I play this old game. A lot of people probably go, well, what the hell are you playing such an old game for? I really enjoy it. And I'm able to multi-box so easily. And a lot of that is in Windows. And one thing I really can't do in Linux is because of a lot of these tools that are frankly just not capable of running through a wine compatibility layer. So which gamer are you? Where do you fit? Can you Linux game? Maybe. It just depends on what you need from your computing and your gaming experience. Linux will never be a catch-all for everybody in Windows, as there's always little gotchas for a lot of these obscure or not well-represented communities in the Windows gaming realm. And I wanted to kind of bring that to light and say, hey, Linux gaming can be good and it can be great for some people, but it just depends on where you reside. And hopefully this gives you a better understanding of maybe even in gaming in general, but also what can and can't be accomplished using Linux, and what can be used and done in Windows, because probably some stuff I showed today you probably have never seen before. And if that's the case, let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.